How'd you discover Leon Johnson from George Fox?
You weren't here last week, were you? Okay, I'm going to give you a quick rundown. Everybody here admitted nobody knew what George Fox was, including me. Because I literally thought, and this is no disrespect to them at all, I just didn't know who they were. So you would have to ask, I'll let y'all talk to Bradford. Go bring him over here next week or something. He can clarify a lot of the portal stuff. I would be stepping out of bounds saying that I did anything other than they came and brought him in the office and they told me who they were 5 minutes before they showed up. Like literally, this is so-and-so, 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 so-and-so. Like, I'll give you guys an example. You think I'm joking about the portal? It's not a joke. I'll probably get in trouble for this, but I don't care.
How many guys are in the portal right now?
Well, at one time it went up to almost 3,000.
Right.
And I think somebody said there was only like 950 that got out.
It's still
I don't
over
know for
2,000.
sure. Yeah, I don't keep up with it.
900 in basketball today as we speak. So there'll be
In hoops?
basketball.
Yeah, so they only play with 5 people. We play with 22. So I'm not smart enough in math. I need to get Leon Johnson here. He's a math major from George Fox. But you can do the percentages and you can see, so it's actually worse in basketball. If there's 5 on the floor, let's just say 7, and they got 900, but there's more schools, so I don't know. It's a lot. Yeah, somebody's opinion. You guys can construe it and write any way you want, make it how you want it. So it says, okay, so-and-so's here today. You have not sat down with him. You haven't seen him face to face. His team did this, just did this. He's on a visit with his dad, so-and-so and so-and-so. His brother, so-and-so and so-and-so. His teammate, so-and-so and so-and-so. He was last on campus in January. His mom was so-and-so is here. I'm not going to do all this. Mom's this, mom's this, considered this. National recruit, blah, blah, blah. Is very familiar with us. Loves Jaden Bray, blah, 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 whatever. All right, good luck, Coach. Have at it. I mean, most of the time, that's me. That's what I do. So.
That's your cheat sheet.
It's CliffsNotes.
Yeah.
See, you're probably too young to know what a CliffsNotes is.
I know what
Right? You could just use the CliffsNotes version. But sometimes they would come in and throw a guy on and say, Coach, you need to watch this guy and see what you think. Most of the time it was, here he is, he'll be here tomorrow, and let's roll. That's the way it is.
Are you going to have to expand recruiting staffs to?
Well, we got 9 people now, and I'm a little leery of continuing to expand. I'm trying to catch where they're at in the SEC. They float between 24 and 32, is what I've been told. Now, I don't know that to be true, but most of what goes on down there is not true anyway. So I would say there's a chance we might go to 12 to 15 at some point. It's just a massive amount of people that it's hard to keep up with.
It does mean more, though.
What's that?
In the SEC, it just means more.
Well, I mean, it's a whole different way. It's coaches down there can't go grocery shopping. I mean, I grocery shop. People don't care. Down there, you don't go in a grocery store, unless you won 12 games.
Don't you feel like in the next couple of years, at most, that they're going to have to modify the portal? Because this is.
Well, you got several issues there. One, you have federal lawmakers making the decisions, not the NCAA. And you know as well as I do, well, I don't know if you do, I read a lot of politics, but the lobbyists and things happen for a reason, and that's just the way it is. You're not going to control them, they're going to control you. And until we get contractual scholarships in high school recruiting, the portal's never going to settle down. For example, a young man should be able to sign a 1, 2, 3, or 4 year scholarship. That's their choice. Whatever they sign, that's what they're committed to.
Contract.
That's what we're going to now. That's the only way that we are going to have a chance to manage rosters. So let's just say that at the end of this year, I've got 19 guys whose contracts are up. They may be a senior or a freshman. So if you're a 5-star guy, like you're a heavily recruited guy, you might just sign a 1-year deal. And then say, well, I'm good enough to sign another 1-year deal, or I can leave if I want. So until they do that, we don't really know who's in and out for that upcoming year, so it's hard for us to balance our numbers. So I've suggested it. I don't know if anybody's listened or cares, but high school kids ought to have an opportunity. So you want a 4-year deal? Sign a 4-year deal. But you're bound to that 4-year contract unless your head coach says he'll sign off and let you go. And then that puts more pressure on the head coach, but at least it gives a young man a chance to leave if he comes in and says, Coach, I'm not good enough to play here. I want to go to this school. I sign off and let him go, or whatever reason. But that's the only way they're going to be able to manage numbers, in my opinion. That would slow the portal down.
You don't think it's just as simple as maybe just saying, okay, you got one free move, but after that, you got to sit.
Yeah, so there's over 14,000 unread lawsuits right now sitting on the NCAA's desk in San Francisco. So every time you try to corral a young man, they're going to file a lawsuit, and they're going to give them a waiver, and they're out of here. That's the way it is. And then they're going to fight that battle. So we've got several players that are playing this year in the NCAA that are at their third or fourth school. How does that work? They just file a waiver. So you can't control them. Unless it becomes a contractual situation, you're never going to be able to control the portal.
Who's this quarterback you signed out of Denton, Sparkle, or what was his name? I can't remember.
Which one?
Nick Sarkle?
Yeah.
Didn't he go to 6 schools or something crazy?
Well, and I think the young man that we played this year at Arizona State, I'm terrible with names. He came from Florida. Hadn't he been to several schools? Or the one at West Virginia, where'd he go?
JT Daniels is at Rice. That's his 4th.
Okay, so, I got nothing against you, but he's at 4 schools. So you're not going to control it. Until it becomes a contractual situation and somebody says, look, we have to hold you to these contracts. Unless your head coach will sign off on it and let you go, you're not going to be able to manage numbers. Just no way. Can't do it.
Coach, you're about to the second period.
Yeah, they don't care anymore anyway. I'm having a good time.
Mike, last year you were 6.
Thank you, though.
For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.